So, all right, let's continue on with David here. Another sin that David did, and this is over in chapter 24, and this is kind of interesting. 2 Samuel 24, it says, again, the anger of the Lord burned against Israel. Okay, so the Lord's angry with Israel, and he incited David against them, saying, go take a census of Israel and Judah. So David sends out Joab to basically number the people. But what's interesting to me is, if you look at this other verse here, over in 1 Chronicles chapter 21, we haven't done much with Chronicles. Chronicles parallels Kings. But in 1 Chronicles 21, here's what it says there. Satan rose up against Israel and incited David to take a census. Satan rose up against Israel and incited David to take a census. In Kings, who incited David? God. In Chronicles, who incited David to number the people? Satan. Do you see, as monotheists, do we have a problem? As monotheists, do we have a problem? Do we have one God who's over everything? Is God over what is good and what is evil? Is God over what is good and what is evil? Is evil outside the control of God? No. God, we have one God. He is sovereign. He is sovereign. He is the king over everything. Is Satan, it's God over here and Satan over here. Is that the way the Bible portrays it? No. Is Satan under God? What's the classic? Do you guys remember the book of Job? In the book of Job, could you say that God did that to Job? Yes, you could say that, but did Satan do that to Job? But was Satan allowed to do that by God? I think this is what you get here too. Okay? God is going to judge Israel. God is going to judge Israel. But what he does is, he allows Satan to then cause them to number the people so they would be judged. Okay? So God is going to bring judgment on them. He uses Satan to bring that judgment. So Satan is an instrument, doing God's bidding in one sense. Now, by the way, is Satan trying to do evil about it? Probably Satan's trying to do evil. God's trying to do good with it. But David, in chapter 24, verse 10, David acknowledges David was conscience-stricken, and after he had counted the fighting men, he said to the Lord, I have sinned greatly in what I have done. David acknowledges that he's sinned. Why is David a man after God's own heart? David is a man after God's own heart because he acknowledges his sin. David repents, and he keeps turning back to God. Even though he's done some really bad stuff, he turns back to God, he repents. God gives him three options. He says, David, you got three options. You got 3 years of famine, or you got 3 months of running before your enemies, or you got 3 days of a plague. And David looks at that and he says, hey, who's involved with the plague? If the plague comes, it's God. And therefore, because it's God, maybe I can pray to God and God will spare my people. Maybe God will be merciful to us. So I'm going to pick the 3 days of plague. Because, by the way, 3 months before the enemies, will the enemies be merciful? Probably not. But God's involved in this one. So David says, I'll take the 3 days of plague. Now this angel of the Lord basically stands up then. And this angel is slaying the people. And David prays then. But then what happens? What happens next is really interesting. This angel is slaying the people from the threshing floor of Aravna. The threshing floor of Aravna. And David sees this angel slaying the people from the threshing floor of Aravna. And God tells David, by the threshing floor of Aravna. By the threshing floor of Aravna. Now when I say threshing floor, is a threshing floor high or low? A threshing floor is at the top of a mountain. Okay? This threshing floor of Aravna is a flat area that they would do their threshing at a high place. This threshing floor of Aravna is the place where Solomon will build the temple. The place of judgment where this angel was judging the people. That will be the very place God will choose to put his temple. Solomon will build his temple on the threshing floor of Aravna. David buys the threshing floor from Aravna. Solomon will build the temple right there. on that very place of judgment, turns into a place of blessing. Do you see how the thing turns there? The place of judgment becomes the place of blessing where God's presence is found. So this is kind of a cool reversal that you get in Scripture. Yeah, Peter.
Are the people being punished for David's sin?
No. God was going to punish the people anyway, and because they had sinned. And he uses David's, how should I say, this sin that David did, and David acknowledges as a sin, as the means by which to judge the people. So you have multiple factors here, and basically the people are judged for their sin, but the means of it comes through these plagues. So it's just, it's kind of tricky there.